Good morning, Trailblazers. How are you guys this morning? I'm having trouble getting the video to work, so sorry your lesson today is delayed. I'm looking forward to our virtual class meeting this afternoon at 11 a.m. And it is a special science experiment. So, parents, I'll talk to you a little bit about that at the end, and you can get some things prepped if you have them. If you don't, it's fine. The kids can just watch and kind of, give their comments or whatever throughout. Today's story is Caps for Sale. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, and then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself up very straight, so not to upset the caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street. "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a giant tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he thought, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there. So he went to sleep. He slept for a very long time. And when he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. And finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking his finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him. Tss, 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 tss. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them. "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss, tss." Now he felt very angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, 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 tss." By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry, and he stamped both of his feet and he shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, 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 tss." At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his very own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then, each monkey pulled off their cap. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. And that's how the story ends. Those were silly monkeys, weren't they? They were copying what he was doing. So if he shook his finger, they shook their finger. If he shook both fingers, they did. Stomped their feet, and when he took his cap off, they all took their caps off. Kind of funny, huh? All right, guys. I want you from your project pack to, of course, sign in. There's Miss Kelly's name. You all can hold yours up and show what yours looks like. And then you're going to need to get your pattern book and maybe just a plain piece of paper. Any plain piece of paper. If you have, I think it doesn't matter what color either. So any piece of paper. Today, find the piece of paper that has the stickers. You're going to need the stickers. And what I did was I drew a picture of myself. And that's what I want you to do, is draw a picture of yourself, just your head at the bottom of the paper. And then, like in the story Caps for Sale, you're going to stack your stickers. And as you're stacking them, they're your caps, we're going to pretend. I want you to count them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can keep going. I have 5, 6, 7 that I could put on top. So I want you to do that. And when you're finished, like I said, touch count them and see what number you have. If you want to practice writing the number, you can practice writing the number. Or if you want to draw on your own another picture of maybe your brother or your sister, and you could draw circles on top of their head and see how many circles you could stack. Okay? All right. That's one project. And then the other one is patterning. And we talked about this, guys, before we left. We worked on this with our fruit counters, if you remember. And we talked about how you make a pattern. You can make a pattern with 2 colors. You can make a pattern with objects. You can make a pattern with pretty much anything as long as it's a pattern and it repeats. We talked about that. So today I made a pattern with, this is purple, you can see. Purple, orange, purple, orange, purple. What would come next? It would be orange, because it repeats. Purple, orange, purple, orange, purple, orange. And then I would do purple, orange. So I did mine with markers. Another way, I got out my Legos. Yes, I have Legos at my house. And you can do a pattern of, let's see if I can move the camera down a little bit. Sorry, I hit the stop button, so we'll have 2 videos. You can find your green Lego, blue Lego, green Lego, blue Lego. Or another option, guys, would do, remember when we did 2? We did 2 green, 2 blue. 2 green, 2 blue. 2 green, 2 blue. So then what would come next? 2 green. And then 2 blue. So I want you to have fun making patterns today. You can, like I said, you can color on here or you can lay things on there that you can make your own pattern with. Okay? Good luck, guys. And parents, today at 11 a.m. is our virtual chat. We hope everybody can join in. We're going to do a science experiment. And some of the things that you'll need is a tray to catch the spill. You will need baking soda, vinegar, and food coloring if you have it. If you don't, it's not a big deal. And some little cups or something that you can put the baking soda in, and also that they can use to pour. I'm going to do a rainbow. You guys don't have to do all of that, but they'll want to do, they'll want to mix the baking soda and the vinegar after we do our little experiment, because it's fun. So guys, I will see you today at 11, and then tomorrow is our last video and show and tell virtual meeting at 11 a.m. Also, Friday's the first day of spring break, so tomorrow will be our last day together for a week, and you all get to go off and have fun in your own backyards next week. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Bye, Trailblazers.